ancient monk high in the Tibetan mountains that has reached an altered state near nirvana, kind of a blob-vana, if you will. And there are rumors that he has attained a state of 0 calorie burn.
Couch body.
I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 I'm gonna get myself a modem.
Hello, and welcome to Lunch Therapy. I am your host, Joel Marshall. Today we have a great guest. We have Gayla Johnson on the show. She's a comedian. She's an actress. She is a multi-talented person. She's also a teacher of stand-up. So we're going to talk to her about all those things. I want to say I got a show coming up, Stronger Choices. Going to be at the Improv Lab on Sunday, August 24th at 7 p.m. You can get your tickets at joelmarshall.com. This is a highly coveted show at the world famous Improv. Gayla is saying hoy from Montana. Hoy, Gayla. Great to see you. Hope you're having fun out there in Montana. Speaking of Gayla, I want to thank my Patreons. These are the Patreons of the show. The show happens because of you. Independent media these days, a lot of times is funded through this organization called Patreons. Patreon.com/Joel Marshall is where you can subscribe to the show for any amount, $0 to $1 million. So come on by there. We have a show on Tuesdays and we have a show on Fridays. Fridays is Interview Fridays. And that is today. So let's breathe. I have behind me Tibetan Vibrations, which is a YouTube channel you can go to relax. They have a lot of videos of crystal bowls. Sometimes they have Tibetan bowls. There's also Tibetan vibrations. And these sounds can help relax your nervous system. That's why I always have it at the top of the show. Aw. Yeah, that's Perseus there. The cat. That is his Charlie. My Charlie is here, somewhere sleeping on the floor. Perseus is a big part of the chakra vibrations. So in through the nose, out through the toes is what we like to say here on the show. Breathe in, breathe out, and sound. So in through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. In through the nose, out through the toes. Time. Hold it. Let it go. Lunch therapy was started during COVID, the first day of COVID lockdown back in March of 2020. And it's still a place where you can go to take a break from all the noise that's going on in the world. Maybe get yourself a little more focused. Maybe get yourself a little bit more in the zone. And people like Travis Schumacher behind us help us do that. So another person that helps us a lot is Marcel Hutter. He's a handpan player. I've got a little bit of that for us before we get into the interview. This is Marcel and Helene playing the handpan. This is an instrument that was invented not very long ago. 2000 maybe? We have a lot of comedians on our show. Lunch Therapy, that's one of our major focuses. Today we've got a comedian that is like the source of many other comedians because she's a teacher. She teaches with her husband Greg Dean, teaches stand-up. They also have open mics. She's also a prolific actor in her own right. More to come. So we're going to learn something about crafting jokes. We're going to learn a little bit about acting. We're going to learn a little bit about Gayla herself. Thank you to Marcel and Helene for sharing your music on the show. All right, I'm black and white. It's cool. It's kind of cool how, back in the day, actors used to we'd walk around with our headshots. We have big stacks of them. We print them all out, and they were all in black and white. And after you got your headshot, you got like a master headshot, and that master headshot, you could make all the copies from that, but you had to retouch it. And the way they retouched it back then was a guy would put it on an easel, and he had what looked like a dental tool, and he would go on your face, and he'd scratch out all the imperfections. And that's what it was to be an actor. And way back when, people used to carry around, this is before my time, they used to carry around a film reel with their acting clips on it. And that's why today we call our clips that we put online our actor reel. I've got an actor on the show today, actress. I don't know which one they say now. We'll have to ask Donald Trump, see what he has to say, because he's setting the language lately. We had Gayla on the show 2 years ago. She was in a San Clemente hotel room doing stand-up comedy. I had been introduced to her through Ginny Sykes, famous comedian Ginny Sykes. I had Greg Dean on the show, and Ginny was like, you got to have Greg's wife on the show. She's cool. Gayla, she's a great teacher. She's also an acclaimed actress. And she's a hilarious stand-up comedian in her own right. She's made appearances on Comedy Central, Comics Unleashed, Showtime's Fierce Funny Women. She's been seen at the Comedy Store, the Improv, the Ice House, the Laugh Factory. She's even played in London, Montreal, all over the place. She's also co-owner of Greg Dean's comedy classes, where she teaches and she hosts open mics, even on Zoom. So even if you're thinking about doing stand-up comedy, that's a really good place to start. It's a lot of people that we've had that are successful comedians on the show started with Greg Dean's classes, and anyone can do that. Anyone can do that. Sally Mullins comes to mind. She talks about those classes and that's how she got her start. Matt Wright says, all connections run through Ginny Sykes. I know, she is like the great connector. And Mike Knox, yeah. So thanks to them. There's Ginny Sykes right there. There she is. I thought it was because your acting is real good. Real good. Oh, you're real. Yeah. Anyway, let's bring on Gayla Johnson. We got a lot to talk about.
Black people just have weird names. That's just how it is. That's just like, that's what we do. That's what we do. That's how we roll. It's all good. You know, we can look in a cookbook and find good names. Like, oh, here's my son Stroganoff. My daughter Flambe. My little friend Tapioca. It's unlike white people. Oh God, you guys will do the numerology on the name. You'll look it up in a name book. You'll keep it in the family. You keep it traditional and do a lot of research before you name your son Bob.
She loves that bit. All right. Gayla Johnson is here on the show. We're so fortunate to have you here. Welcome to Lunch Therapy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Wow.
Too funny. I remember we were at that show because I could hear Kamala laughing in the background. There's Kamala says the same thing. She can hear herself laughing. Yeah.
That was a good show.
That was a good show. That was really funny. Jimmy Shin's show, right?
Yeah, he does a lot of them there. So yeah, you do shows with Jimmy Shin a lot. So.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a little while, but yeah, definitely. He's a fantastic producer, also from Seattle or Tacoma, which is nearby. And also I've been on the road with him too, which is super fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, have you? Yeah, you told me that. Yeah, he's figured out the magic. That's for sure.
The funniest thing happened. You were on the show, and you were in that hotel room in San Clemente. And then I was in acting class months later. and our teacher, Ivana Chubbuck, said, Joel, you're going to do a scene with Gayla. And I was like, Kayla? Because there's a girl in the class named Kayla, who's a fantastic actor, too. And I was like, Kayla? And she's like, no, Gayla. And I'm like, Kayla? No, Gayla. I'm like, okay. And then she pointed to you, and you're like in the back, like rummaging through your backpack or something.
Totally hiding.
And then I was like, where is she? Oh, I was like, we're doing a scene together. And then I looked at you, and I was like, wait a minute. You're Gayla Johnson. And you're like, no, I'm not. What are you talking about? I don't know what you thought, but I was like, what are you talking about? You were on my show. You're like, we never did a show together.
I always do that. I don't know who I
That was so funny. I had to convince you that we had done this show together. And I think you thought it was a live show. And you're like, I don't think we did a live show. I don't think we did a show together. And then I sent you that link. Yeah. I sent you that link to our show.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
How can I meet you? You're a podcast guy. What are you doing?
Right. I know. Because you see people out of context.
Yeah.
And you're just like, who? What? How do I know that person? Or I don't know that person. I said to you, I also said, yeah, you got the routine, about your dad. And you were like, well, anybody. You actually said to me, anybody could look that up. Everybody knows that. I was like,
I said that.
I know. I don't know what it was. I must have looked like your old boyfriend or something like that. Like, I don't know this guy at all.
Yeah, that's one thing comedians should practice is meeting people that have seen shows or that know things about you, so you have things to say.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, did I offend you? Are you gonna sue me? What's going on here? Why are you bringing that up?
Right. Do you have a bit about cops? Oh man, I'm a cop.
Oh, who doesn't?
Who doesn't have a bit about cops? Anyway, it's great to have you on the show again.
Thank you.
It's really wonderful. And it's also, we've become really great friends over the last, I guess it's been about 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since that. So what happened is we did that scene.
We did a thing.
First we did that scene, which was sort of like a trial. Where I do what?
You grabbed my boobs.
Oh my God. So we got given this scene, which was bringing down the house. Right. Mm-hmm. There's some part where it's kind of written in the script for the guy.
Yeah.
And we were so bent out of shape about it. We were so bent out of shape about that. Both of us were. We didn't even put the scene up for like weeks because we were just like,
We
What
had to rehearse
happens?
in person.
And we kept avoiding that.
Yeah, I came
Anyway.
over to your place,
Yeah, that was
and then
hilarious.
I was like, "You can touch it, Joel.
But we
Touch
were
it,
both
Joel."
like having a hard time with it because it's. Anyway,
Right.
that was so funny. And since then, I've just watched your, performance after performance, just stellar performances. There's one performance that you did in class where people say to me that was one of the best scenes I've ever seen.
Wow.
I had somebody say that to me and I was like, and they said there was one scene in here that was the best scene I've ever seen. And I was like, was it the one with Gayla when she's in the hospital bed? Do you remember that scene that you did in the hospital room? Yeah. With I can't think of her name, but she's up in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And that was like really like powerful stuff. And then she had you switch.
Yeah.
That's
That's
great.
interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah. Sometime just for your viewers, the scenes we do, sometimes we have a thing called one and done, where we do a scene and it satisfies the checklist of the things we're supposed to do before we do the scene. And she's like, okay, we're good. And then she gives us a new scene to do.
Yeah.
And in the case where we switched, she had decided that I was one and done, but the actress I was with needed to do the scene for second work, is what she calls it. So the way she decided to do it was just to have me play the other role of the scene, but it was the same scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she moved me forward. Yeah, and the other actors, because she paid my role. But
yeah, and it was so interesting to see that switch. Have you were you in that class, Ivana Chubbuck's studio? You were in there long before I was, or something, because all of a sudden you were back.
Yeah, I was in there before COVID, a couple of years before. I had been told about it and recommended by Lonnie Henderson. He's an actor that comes out of, but he's in Cal State Northridge. He did a major film where he had me as the lead. Nefertiti? I think of it. Anyway, so Lonnie's an actor and he recommended me to Ivana. And so, yeah. So that was years ago after I did the film with him that I got recommended to that. And then I went into master class after I did the advanced class. So
what is it about that technique that you enjoy that keeps you coming back?
There is a 12-step program, so to speak.
It is a 12-step program. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's proven in history that 12-step programs work if you take the steps and follow steps and you're true to yourself.
But it's not like a, AA or something where you.
No, it's not a therapy.
Search for your higher power or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, it's 12 steps toward the authentic you as an actress and what to use to bring yourself to the role. And it's very, very laid out, very technique oriented, very plug and play. If you just do the work and then you'll get the results and then you throw it against the wall and go for it. It's very similar to when I'm teaching stand-up comedy. There's specific techniques. If you apply them, then they work.
Yeah.
They work. And if you try to skirt by or try to, find another way to get things done, you'll get results, but there'll be different results than probably you would have gotten if you did the technique. And
well, also, I think too, as an actor, if you have a technique, you always have a certain level of performance that you can go to. Like everything's not just up to sort of the randomity of finding things that work in the scene. If you have a step-by-step technique, you always have that to fall back on if you're lost.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Same thing with stand-up.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything to fall back on, you end up making someone else responsible for your shortcomings or blaming them or trying to direct your scene partner.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, don't direct me. I'm doing my thing.
Have you ever had that where you're like with a scene partner and they're directing you?
Yeah. Yeah. Because they know better than me. What they're directing me to do is what they need for themselves when they should generate it themselves.
Yeah. It's hard though. Yeah. It's hard to, deal with that when you're in a production where there's a director? That's one of the things I guess about acting class that's kind of difficult, is you have no director, and you have to get together with another actor and kind of figure it out. Whereas if you have a director, and if the other person's directing you, the director will be like, don't do that. or you could go to the director and say, they're trying to get me to do this thing or whatever, and then the director could work it out. Yeah. But when you're working with two actors, you don't have that luxury at all. I find some, most of the people in that class are just great to work with. Rarely do I get somebody that's not committed, like fully committed to this thing. And that's how you have to be, right?
You have to be, yeah. It's interesting how everyone takes the responsibility for themselves, which means that you get assigned a scene partner and you are going to work the scene, but it's all about your own personal work that you do to prepare for the scene. And then there's chemistry between the two of you, which is she even has techniques for that.
Yeah, I know, she even has techniques for that. That's what I love about it too. Even if you're like have to be drunk or something, or there's some specific situation.
Exercises.
She has an exercise for like everything. If somebody dies, she has an exercise.
Yeah,
I love that. Were you? What are some of the other techniques you did before you got to this one?
Other techniques for
or what other classes did
I've
you
learned
take?
so much from stand-up comedy.
Really? About acting?
About acting, yeah. There's a lot of skills in stand-up that really support the actor in you or the actor that you already are in life. One of them is when you were a child, growing up, you wanted things from parents and other people, and you may not be an actor, but you knew that you were very flexible in the way you would go for getting something. You would cry about it, or you would blame someone, or you would pretend to be mad, or you would throw things to get attention. That's what we all do to get what we want. And in acting, there's a scene objective. You want to get something. So I love the fact that playfulness that you use as a kid to get what you want, you have a tendency as an adult to tone it down because now you're an adult, you have to act a certain way and stuff. But in stand-up comedy, you can bring that back up.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense too.
And use that in your art because it's still a part of you. And if you're an actor, you can use that in your acting as well.
She always says that thing about the greatest performances are the ones where they're tapping into their child. I mean, I don't want to say inner child because that sounds really ridiculous, but you know what I mean? Like they are a child. The more of a child you can be, the better actor you can be. And they're like, look at all she's like, look at all the great performances. They're like a child. They're
that's why we like to watch them.
Yeah, we want to see that stuff.
They're gonna do something weird, and we just
or something that maybe we would like to do.
That's right.
But because of our societal norms, we're like so tamped down.
Oh yeah, that's that facade we all wear to just cover so that we can fit in,
be cool. Yeah. Like there's a whole thing about being cool.
Yeah, being cool and fitting in, and people don't think we're weird, and we're just gonna be in the background, but kind of be with the group and let them dictate how we act and stuff. But there is an individual person you are that if you're fearless, which no one is, we would just allow that out. But in the context of stand-up or the context of acting, that can come out.
That's what I like. I like that.
It's a plus.
Do you think where do you think the anger lives in stand-up comedy? Do you think it's appropriate to be angry, or is there like another way that you express it? Rants and things like that. Like I think in Greg Dean's course, he says, or his book, he says, start with a rant sometimes.
Yeah. Wow. The anger in stand-up comedy lives in asking yourself, what's wrong? What's wrong? I just ask yourself every day, what's wrong? Well, I don't have any more coffee. And I ran out of coffee again. I meant to go get it, but I'm not organized and I don't have any money. It's just you go on a rant about what's wrong. And
Yeah.
comedy is often about is what's wrong. And you're up there complaining. And it's interesting. There's that's where the anger is on ourselves a lot of times, because when I'm teaching, I ask my students a lot, I go, you have your comedy is about this and this and this, and you're talking about those people and those things and how they're to blame and everything. I want you to ask yourself this question: how are you complicit in your own misery?
Wow.
That has to do with, why do you stay? Why do you put up with it? Why don't you just dump your car on the side of the road and walk away from it?
Yeah.
Why do you keep that job? You know, the things that we hang on to that cause misery is how we're complicit, and our reasons for hanging on to it is what's wrong.
But also, a lot of times you have to kind of let go of that judgmental thing in you saying, you don't have the right to complain. You've got it good. You know what I mean? Like there are people starving, or there are people who have a lot worse than you do. Why are
that's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just you sucking up to your bad decisions.
Oh yeah, suck it up and do the job or whatever.
Yeah. You went all in, man. You have to live it. Find another way to reconcile with it. Justify that you made a bad decision. Yeah.
Kind of says lunch therapy. All right. That's a nice little bumper. So a lot of people, like some people come on my show and they're like, I am a stand-up comedian. Oh, what's happening? What's happening over there?
That's okay.
Something's happening.
I know. I forgot to do something.
Oh, no. Do you need to go do something?
Not at all.
Okay, because you could go and we could look at some animals.
Oh, animals. No. Okay. Okay.
Okay, this is gonna be a big question.
Yes.
A lot of people come on my show and they're like, I wanted to be an actor. I wanted this, and this. And so I reverse engineered it. I figured out what I needed to do. I lived in a van. I went to the right school. I found the right acting role. I knocked down their door until they gave it to me. And then now I'm an actor. And other people are like, well, I don't know. I was walking by this class and there was some people looked like I had a good time. And then I got into this acting class and then I don't know, somebody said, hey, you want to go be a clown or something like that? And I was like, okay. So which one are you? Or are you both? Are you a person who's self-directed and just goes for what they want and gets it? Or are you a person who lets life kind of reveal itself to you?
I would say I'm definitely self-directed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had it all unfold systematically in my life. I got out of college with a communication degree, broadcasting.
Yeah.
Tried that, didn't work.
That seems more like journalism, right?
Yeah, it was like journalism, yeah. Wow. And so I was always about the word and writing and sharing and analyzing and, giving editorial kind of things that anyways, reporting. But then, I just evolved to writing for the newspapers, which same thing, and then evolved to public speaking, and then evolved to stand-up, and then got into acting, realizing my words weren't crap. My words aren't the ones I really want to.
You want to say other people's words?
Yeah,
I'd like to have somebody write it for me.
Yeah, that's right, because my words would get me in trouble. And then I found stand-up and said, this is good trouble.
Were you a troublemaker when you were a kid?
No.
You were a good kid?
Yeah, I was a good kid. I was a pretty good kid.
Yeah. So you did public speaking. What kind of public speaking were you doing? And then you all of a sudden did stand-up comedy. How did that happen? What were you doing? Were you like getting a lot of laughs during public speaking? And you're like, well, maybe I should be a comedian.
Yeah, it didn't, that didn't last too, right. Because I didn't know, I was speaking about things that I didn't
know about?
Yeah. It's weird. It didn't last too long. It just went in comedy real quick.
Uh-oh. Howard wants to know how you met Greg.
Oh, no one wants to know that.
No one wants to know that, Howard.
Well, I met him because what happened there? I thought stand up, I was at open mic and I thought stand up was just a monologue. But when you got laughs, you just got lucky. So I think I did a couple of monologues and I didn't get laughs. I wasn't getting lucky.
Did you write the monologues?
No, they were acting monologues.
You did acting monologues in a stand-up class?
No, not in a class, but in an open. I guess I wanted acting before stand up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you went through your book of monologues and looked in the comedic section?
Sure. Sure, why not?
That's funny.
And that's what people still can do today, but you got to know more about stand up to do that,
Yeah. Where did you go for the first stand up you did?
Oh gosh, was
it in LA?
It was in LA. There was a fudge restaurant called Fudge. Was it some open mic at a little restaurant, little tiny mom and pop that I did an open mic where I don't even remember that where I went.
At a fudge restaurant?
Wherever you could find a place no one could follow you. No one could see. This was, and I hate to say, this is way before social networking. Or did we have it?
No, it must have been way before because you were doing those television shows a while back.
So thankfully it's very deep and it cannot be found on the internet.
Can't be found. Well, yeah, I was listening to somebody talk about that too. And they were saying that, it was Mark Maron. He was saying that it's terrible that people when they're just starting out are putting all their comedy online. I don't know why. I mean, it's just his own opinion. But he's like, who wants to have that evidence?
I know, right?
But I love watching a comedian's progress. I like to see their bits develop. Maybe it's because I'm a comedian, but
Joel, it's amazing. So Greg has on me and on a lot of people since this 2025?
Yeah.
Since 1988, etc. Tons of tape on people that took his class.
Yes.
And
yes.
signed contracts that he's able to use that footage for teaching purposes.
Oh, wow.
And we've got an archive that we have no room to store it, but we're going to digitize it all, and mine as well. Early times. But there might be something there. I'm not, so that's kind of.
But I do like that. I mean, people are talking about your fudge restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
If there isn't already a fudge restaurant, someone needs to make one. Fudge Restaurant is my new band. Isn't there a place called
Natural
Fudge? Natural Fudge.
Yeah.
I remember doing, and it's still probably there. There's a juice bar that's near downtown where I used to do stand-up when I first started out. And you'd just be standing there amongst the tables and everybody was drinking their juice.
Yeah. And you're like, hello, how are you?
I really, really bombed a lot there.
And bombing is something we learn we can survive. I mean, maybe not the real kind of bombs out there.
Yeah, not
politics.
Exploding kind.
Dude, yeah. But you find that when you bomb the worst, you realize that's a real reckoning with who you are and yourself, and you realize, gosh, am I worth living? Oh yeah.
Right. I feel like the people that become good at it are the people that just go, I bombed, and then you feel that feeling, but then you don't go, I suck and I'm never going to do this again. Yeah.
I know the people that become good at it are the people that are used to overcoming what's called situational depression.
Now, interesting.
Situational depression is it just means that you are depressed because of a situation you're in. So once you get out of that situation, you're not depressed. It's like you're depressed because you just bombed, but that doesn't have anything to do with who you are. That was that situation. And then you move on to the next situation and the next situation. But overall, you have ups and downs.
Yeah. And there's also always somebody to compare yourself to that you just feel terrible. Like, why am I not like that person? Look at that person. And that is a huge danger, I think.
And that is looking for a way to stay depressed. If you're going,
I see.
you're not actively looking for it, but there's a part of you that just, you have a choice over that. You can either look for the good guy, or you can look for the guy who wish he was you, because there are people in hospitals having
interesting.
problems, and people all over the world that wish they could live your
Of
life.
course. Yes. And that, why we do that to ourselves, I don't know.
Compare yourself to those people.
Do you ever do any things to keep your mind right, like meditating or therapy or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, your show is really good for that.
That's
I love
right.
it.
That's right.
Ooh, breathe. Sometimes I forget that. But I do meditate. I do affirmations. I don't meditate as much as I should. But I do some affirmations. I'll laugh. I learn to laugh at everything, because even if I'm not exercising like I'm supposed to, and I stretch a leg and I go stupid. I laugh at myself that I should be further along because I haven't been stretching.
Yeah.
But I just keep laughing, and I'll realize that I'm the biggest joke in my own life.
Well, don't you think that's kind of a necessary thing if you're a comedian, to be able to laugh at yourself? Even if you're a comedian that has like an inflated ego, you still have to know, you have to be conscious that people are laughing at you because you have an inflated ego, whatever it is. You have to have that consciousness of it.
That's one thing I try to ask my students to do, to find out their core. Their core is what is like behind an inflated ego. What's that about? What is that? What are you hiding? And inflated ego is just a sign of really low self-esteem. And then I go, why do you have low self-esteem at this point? They never healed from something.
That's so interesting. We got some. Todd Lee says depression. There's a lot going on in the chat room. A lot about fudge restaurants. Depression is a comfort zone that is hard to climb out of. More comfort in feeling miserable than allowing yourself to be happy. Like, people find comfort in it.
Yeah, they do.
Laughing is great medicine. I like Jiminy Glick videos or blooper reels. I love blooper reels. News blooper reels are hilarious.
Yeah.
Jiminy Glick is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
In India, people deliberately laugh for half an hour hysterically. It's called laugh yoga, which is a really wild experience. I don't know if you've ever done that.
Because it is contagious.
You start laughing. Well, and also, I think you were at the Beverly Hills Playhouse years ago too. One of the things I took away from them, and maybe it was from them, or maybe it was from other acting class, but they said, sometimes when you absolutely have to cry in a scene and you're not there, they would say, assume the position, just do it. And then maybe that will spark something in your body, because your body thinks, oh my God, he's sad. And then you start crying. I know it's a weird thing, but laughter, I don't know if that works for crying, because you see it on TV all the time and you're just like, just don't do that. Please don't do that. Just say the lines and, let us have an emotion. But I do think it works for laughing, because you can start laughing and it just starts making you, because you're laughing at the fact that you're laughing about nothing. Right?
Yeah, exactly. It just goes on and on. Right.
Matt Wright says the writer Gay Hendricks has some good stuff about the ceiling for feeling good that we all have. When we hit that ceiling, we do things to knock ourselves back down.
Yeah, interesting. Like, we can't go beyond the ceiling. Some fear up there.
There's another book like that too, where they talk about that. Like, we give ourselves limits somehow, and we have to do something to get past that.
Yeah. What do I always think about when I get to a place and I'm still trying to chip away at it? But the limit thing is, when you get to a place that's a ceiling, that there's a fear, that it has the same biological response in your body as when you're excited.
Yeah.
So when you're afraid of something, your heart palpitates, you start maybe have a little sweat break out, you start having shortness of breath, and you start getting nervous. That is the same activity that goes on physiologically when you're excited.
Yeah.
that you're going to win the lottery, get some money, get a new gift. Maybe you get in a role you want or something.
Yeah.
Your heart palpitates, you get a little sweat. Maybe you can't talk, you can't breathe. So what I try to trick myself is like when I'm really afraid of something, I say, no, I'm not afraid. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's what we tell ourselves.
I had a friend
It's
tell me that
excitement
back
brings-
in college when I was just starting to act and I was having anxiety attacks and freaking out and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he said, that's your gift. He said, that's your excitement and enthusiasm for this thing. It's so important to you. And that's why you're having that. And you should just go through it. And he wasn't an actor or anything. He was just a wise guy. And he wasn't a gangster. He was just a wise person. But I think that that's true. But sometimes it's hard to get through.
Yeah, it's very wise that he said that to you, because if you choose that you're excited, suddenly you get power.
What do they call it? Reframing? You reframe it.
You reframe it.
Yeah.
You have more power and you have strength. If you say you're afraid, then you lose power and you lose strength.
Yeah. I want to give credit. That's Doug O'Donnell. Doug O'Donnell told me that when I was very, very early on, and it really stuck with me. And it has stuck with me today.
Good.
Yeah.
I second his motion.
You second his motion. Okay, so now that we talked about that, I want to ask you, what do you feel like is the ceiling for you right now, and how do you think you can get past it? And I can talk about this as well. I mean, do you feel like there's a ceiling for you right now that you're self-imposing?
Yeah, there is. I guess.
This is the therapy part.
Oh, good. My ceiling is that it's a silly thing, but it's like I moved out of LA, but I still am LA based.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And because it's just a 45
You're in
minutes.
Santa Clarita.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And in Santa Clarita, there's junk everywhere. My garage is junky. There's stuff I want to do. There's projects everywhere to do. And so my thing is thinking that I have to complete all of that until I feel like I live here. And I could start to create my world again. Because I thought that my part of my garage is like a studio. I can make it happen. And there's some other things. And I am always thrown into, well, I can't really get in the studio to make that happen. No wonder I'm not booking roles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I got junk everywhere. So, it's the indication of what's in your mind. You're clouded up here, you're clouded in that room. And I got to clean this up before I can really feel like I live here. Just excuses.
Yeah. And what do you think? It seems like some of that stuff is, I don't want to reinforce that, but some of that is true in a certain way. Like I've been trying to get a hold of my finances lately. And I realized that it's tied to my aspirations in my career a little bit. If I handle that also helps me handle the things that I need to handle about my career and comedy and acting and all that stuff.
Right.
But also there's another part of me that says, other things can sometimes just distract me. And you can go on a whole thing where you renovate your entire backyard and then you ignore what you should be doing with your business.
Yeah.
Do we need to look at animals? Do we need to look at animals, Gayla? Is something going on?
You can tell.
I can tell. This is lunch therapy sees all.
There's something I'm supposed to do and I did it and it's not good enough.
Okay.
But just something Greg wanted.
Tell Greg to hold his horses. We got 10 more minutes in this show.
God. No, we're good.
Okay.
But I do, that is what goes on. I got a pile I got to work on. And then I realized something about that. And my mom used to say, it takes a mood to do something, to get these piles cleaned up or get things cleaned up. And then I read somewhere else, don't let your mood dictate your progress, because
that's right. Because don't you feel like sometimes you've got a gig and you got to go on stage and you're like, I don't feel funny. And
I
maybe
don't feel
something
fun.
bad happens. Like my cat died right before a show at the Ha Ha Club last month. I found my cat dead. And
sorry.
we had to get in the car and go to the thing and do the comedy. And so sometimes you got to dig deep to get yourself into that spot, you know?
Yeah. So that's again, you know what? I call that an opportunity to do your spot in the mood you're in, and see how you work. Because sometimes your wife, my husband, they come in the room. I'm not in the spot to deal with that.
Right.
But they're not relenting. They still, so you have
Yeah.
to find a place in you where you can relate your life or your words to that person or to that moment. And you have to make adjustments. And so you have an opportunity to make that adjustment. But yeah, you can't wait for moods to hit you to do anything, because
Yeah. You can't wait for it. You can't wait for it. My method is to say no. Just default to no. And then later on, change your mind. Todd says maybe your comfort zone is that you're not good with money and constantly feeling you need more, but once you have it, you can't handle it and blow it because you're outside that zone. I don't know if I have that.
Oof,
I don't
that's
know.
a lot.
I don't know, Todd. Let's see.
Could be.
Think of it as your story. Your story is I'm not good enough. And I have an entire warehouse of memories and stories to back that up in mind. So that was one of the things that Richard Lawson said when he was on the show. He said, and I've said this a couple of times, but it's something that keeps repeating to me. Create evidence of your greatness.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was a cool thing to say. That was horrible and miracle done. Yeah.
My aunt gave me an idea. I haven't done it yet because it's one of those things I gotta do.
Yeah.
But we all have these stupid little frames and certificates of participation, in high school, and all the stuff that little awards we've gotten over the years of just living and going to schools and stuff. Put it up on a wall, call that your trophy wall.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody to see, but you walk past it and you go, you know what? I've done a lot of shit.
It's true.
And you can look at it and go, oh, I remember that little thing. And it doesn't mean it's just for you to see that you've been places, you've done things. It's not your first rodeo.
Yeah.
And be aware of your self-talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of us spend all this time getting a diploma, and then we put it somewhere we don't know where it is.
I mean, and even if
it's just like, what good is it then if you're not gonna put it on the wall? Like, if you were a psychiatrist, you'd have it all framed and behind you.
That's right.
Your evidence of your psychiatry.
Yeah, because you want other people to see that you qualify to be So sometimes you need to see that you qualify to be you and to exist and to continue achieving. And that's where that wall comes from. I don't have a wall. I've covered it with other junk.
You got to get that wall uncovered.
What I was thinking of doing was like going to Home Depot or somewhere and just getting a big old piece of wood.
Yeah.
And just find all that stuff, put it up, keep it in the garage, put a sheet over it. And when I need it, I can rip the sheet off and go, okay.
This is so interesting too, because the other day, my friend Jeff Lohman said, sometimes I don't make it. He said, do you do to-do lists? And I was like, yeah, sometimes when I got a lot of stuff to do, I do a to-do list. He goes, I've just started doing done lists. So I can look back at the things I did today and be like, oh, I did a lot of things today.
Yeah.
Because we're so busy going next thing, or dream board or this or that. Well, what about your accomplishment board, so that, that it fuels you into your next thing. I think that's really great.
One thing I tell Greg, and you guys have heard of this, is happy dances after every minor accomplishment. Do something to mark the finish. Something to mark the finish or completion of something before you quickly go to the next thing. It's like, because you're so quick with your lists. It's like once you finish something, say, okay, great. I've sent them that email, and there you go. I got my avails. Okay, let's see what else. Oh yeah, I got it. Before you go there, get up and. Okay, enough of that. Now go back.
Apparently, even just doing this,
just
send some kind of message to your body that like you have accomplished something. Just doing this.
Make that your work ethic.
I love that.
Because you deserve it.
Yeah, you deserve it. All right, we're heading into the end of the show now. I do want to say I do want to ask you now that we're talking about that, we're talking about, this kind of next level idea, and that idea in that book, Next Leap, which I have read half of that book because Todd actually recommended it to me. But in that book, Next Leap, the guy goes to all these CEOs. He coaches CEOs, people that are already feel like they're at the top of their game and they want to go farther. And they find out what the thing is in the way. What do you want to accomplish? And how do you think you can break through that wall? What do you need to do differently?
Well, one of the things I need to do differently is send you the links that you need before I'm actually on the air.
This might be true.
I did send you. I don't know if you saw it, but I sent you the Bosch Legacy link.
You did. I can't play it now, though.
No, I've sent you. No, but is to not wait to be relevant to others. To be discovered. I believe that I am a force anyway, with other ways that I choose to get things done. So there's no reason I can't be a force for my career.
You have a prolific career. When you look at your IMDb or you look at all the stand-up that you've done and all the things that you've done with your life, I mean, we're talking about somebody who's highly successful, and all the people that you've trained in your life. We're talking about somebody who's highly, highly successful, and we're just talking about at this point of how do you go farther? How do you break through? You and I did that show together at the Yard Theater, and that was also one of those things where I was like, this feels really uncomfortable. Let's do this. I feel like sometimes we have to especially as performers, we get a little even comfortable in doing all these stand-up shows where we're doing, 6 to 12 minutes or whatever. How can I make myself more uncomfortable? Because it seems like the people that really get to the next level that we would like to attain, they put themselves in a situation like Rory Scovel. He does hour-long improvised stand-up. That's got to be super uncomfortable, especially the first time you do it.
I'm working with a guy. One of the ways I'm doing that level up and being uncomfortable is just immersing myself in my field more in ways that I normally don't. Like I'm working with Rolando Z. Excellent. He's an actor, producer, writer. He's a coach. He does so many things, and editor. He's an amazing guy. He has written a feature film. I mean, I want to be next to people that write feature films and that do productions and can build their world. And so he's written a feature called Simmering, and he has decided to produce 3 short films in order to tell the story. And anyway, I'm cast in his last work called Never Too Old. And so I'm learning the other side of the business as opposed to being in front of the camera, what's going on behind. And I'm working with a couple of other groups. So learn more that you don't know. Get your weak spots supported like that, and push yourself in those ways, but be around those people, which is interesting. Yeah.
That is another thing too, be around those people. And
You're those people too, Joe.
I am. I'm those people.
You wrote your sitcom.
Yeah, we did that scene. We got to shoot that scene that we did in class.
Yeah, and I'm always like, when's it coming back? Keep it written.
I know. See, that's one of those things where I get, I think that's where I get that ceiling thing.
The ceiling, yeah. And
the ceiling thing where I'm like, okay, you did that. Okay, now. Or like we did that show at the Yard, and I thought it was pretty successful. We had like 60 people there. It was really fun, and it was, and then I was like, oh God, I'm never going to do that again. But it's the people that just, let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's do another thing.
What was the name of the show?
It was called The Origins of Comedy. So it's like a very beginning. It's a beginning of something.
Right.
So we got to do something else. What? You were told what?
Yeah, I mean, I thought of that because I wanted us to get raw and get to the beginning of when we weren't funny and what we've got is.
We really challenged ourselves in that moment. To varying degrees of success.
But you have a lot of things going on, Joel, and you're very smart. And you have written a sitcom, you've written shorts, you have things, and we did a little bit of that. And I love asking you about it because it makes you so uncomfortable.
You really, it does. I am kind of uncomfortable. Also, you know, the other day you and Jelana were in class, and you're like, "We're going to shoot this scene." Like, you did this hilarious scene in class, and then you and Jelana were like, "We're going to shoot this scene. Joel, you should shoot it." And I was like, "I can't do that. I would never be able to do that. I'd have to do that thing. I know." And then like next class, you guys were like, "Hey, we shot the scene. It's super fun." So
yeah, we were not
there
too
you go.
apart. We had a director, we had a camera guy, we shot the scene, and
Yeah,
we
I was like, you gotta find a really good cinematographer. I remember saying all that stuff to you, and then later on going, no, you don't necessarily. You mic yourselves up and do it. You know? Yeah, super fun.
You can if we just do it like the Nike. I hate to throw out Nike. but it does. It's been there forever since I was born.
Just do it.
Like what?
I know.
But yeah, just.
But also sometimes, well, I don't know. Sometimes I also feel like I have financial limitations. Like I want to produce the whole damn, old Jill show. I got all kinds of scenes, all that stuff. Yeah. But then I go, how much is that going to cost? I don't know. I'm going to be able to do that. Matt says, back when I was a PA, I spent some time working in a grip and electric house so I could learn stuff like how to coil cables. I even picked up the nickname Flounder. Flounder. Because you're flat.
See, that's the example. Matt immersed himself in an environment.
Well, Matt is somebody who's constantly reinventing himself. He was in a big punk band in the 90s, very popular band. And now then he went and worked in the film industry, and now he does all kinds of things with Xbox and all these incredible companies. Apparently, Netflix will never give anyone money. Oh, okay. One other thing I want to ask you before we let you go to Greg and take care of his problem.
I'm done with Greg.
It's over. No, but back in the day, they used to have shows on TV where they'd have stand-ups, like a bunch of stand-ups, like a stand-up show. Like they had even an evening at the Improv. There's that one that you did that I had a clip from, but we didn't show. But there's a bunch of them. Why don't they do that anymore? Why do they just have specials, do you think? And should we bring that back?
Now. It's still out. It's not done with networks, but it is streaming. I mean, Netflix has streaming comedy.
They have multiple comedians all in one show?
I don't think they have showcases, no. But they do have specials. But I think that's something you and I need to do.
Yeah, we could totally do laugh therapy and have it on one of these channels. Get all our favorite comedians.
Unless
the Howard Aronins of the world, the Ginny Sykes of the world. Just do it.
I mean, it's not like comedians or anything.
It's not like I know any comedians, but I could learn. I could meet some comedians out there, and we could do it. Anyway,
I think there's
an army of us.
There's an army of us, and
with great material, great comedians, hilarious.
I already see 4 seasons.
Easily. I mean, I could pitch that. I'm pitching that now. People, I don't know who I pitch it to. Amazon. Comedy. It's just called Laugh Therapy.
Laugh Therapy, Joel, for real. I'm for that. Let's do it.
Let's do that one. All right. We both said all right. You heard it first. It's going. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to end, unfortunately, but lots of people talking in the chat room.
There's a lot of stuff. I'm sorry. I wanted to share a story about.
Do it.
So I did an episode on the Lakers' new TV show. That TV show Lakers.
The one about the Lakers. Is it about the Lakers?
It's about how the Lakers got started.
Okay.
Yeah, and anyway, I was cast as one of the ladies in the beauty shop. I wish I had that clip. I got that clip somewhere, and it was all ghetto. It was urban.
Yeah.
It was like, girl, whatever. I don't even know. Whatever.
Yeah. I saw that scene. I know what you're talking about.
And I was in rollers and stuff. And so I'm an actor. So I did the role and I got anyway, bottom line, there was a comedian, well-known comedian that knows me, knows my shows and everything, and known me for years. She goes, Gayla. I go, what? You were so good in that role. I'm like, okay, thank you. She goes, no. I didn't know you could play a black woman.
You were like, wait a minute.
What? So, no, I mean, it ain't like that. I mean, what
Yeah.
I mean is,
No,
you
I
were
know.
ghetto. You were just down. You were like,
No, I
good.
know. And sometimes like you get pushed into that in acting class too, and you're kind of like, but you can
So-
totally do it. You,
So I went to Ivana. I said, Ivana, please
Oh.
make me a black woman.
what is that
She's
name of that
always like-
show? I can't even think of the name of the show now. But anyway, it was.
Oh, it was the Lakers.
Yeah.
The Lakers. It's on my IMDb.
Adam, that
Yeah.
that great director was directing it, and
But I got
my friend Andy was in it as well.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I wish
They-
I wish I
give
could
the
jump to
side
that
of a-
clip. If I had the clip, I would play it. But anyway, people are just gonna have to find it. All right, it's the end of the show. Thanks so much for being on the show.
thank you for having me
Appreciate this.
again. This is so great.
I think
Thank
we
you.
figured out a lot in this show.
We did.
This is like
We
an
did.
active therapy.
This is a catalyst to more of you, Joel, and what you're gonna make happen. I think I'm riding your wave here. Let's do this.
I'm riding your wave. We're riding each other's waves. All right. Dance break real quick here. Michael Gonzalez, song I like to play at the end of the show. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for the great comments. I didn't get to all of them because some of them I was like, what are they saying? Something about cats. It's really fun.
It's live.
It's live. This is Michael Gonzalez. He's
We're gonna
an actor.
ride till we fall. They say we got no future at all. They wanna keep us out, can't hold us down anymore. Gonna ride till we fall.
When we hit the bottom, nothing's gonna stop us. Climb to the top with you. We could be the greatest ones who ever made it. Yeah, I could be talking you. They're trying to hate, but we won't change anything at all. Oh, we're gonna rise till we fall. They think we just dropouts, living at a mom's house. Parents must be so proud, they know it all. They don't speak our language, they say we're too savage. Yeah, no, we don't give up anymore. We're gonna ride till we fall.
Yeah.
We're gonna ride till we fall.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Lunch therapy. Awesome. Howard Ronan. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, nice.
We solved all the problems.